In today's episode, we're going to be talking about spiritual awakenings. I'm going to share with you a little bit about my journey with them, how I knew I had one, and how to know if you've had one too. The signs, what to look for to know you're experiencing one. There's all different types. We're about to jump into that right now. Let's get messy. Welcome, my beautiful friends. I'm Natalie, and I'm here to share with you how I've turned my messes into messages and come out the other side. I'm not a doctor, so if you feel you need one, please get one. But if you're looking for a friend who's been there, like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Let's get started with our question for this episode. How do you live with your past? That's a good question. How do you live with your past? You know, recovery is a challenge because you have to look at yourself. You have to look at yourself. You have to look at your life, your decisions, your behaviors, and you have to own responsibility for your life. It's so easy to blame everybody else for why I was a drug addict, for why my life was unmanageable. I didn't want to stand up and say, okay, what's my part in it? But once I started doing that, things changed. Living with my past, for example, I now know that things don't happen to me, they happen for me. And I'm going to be doing an episode on this about being a chosen one as well, because I think a lot of us addicts, a lot of people that endure suffering and hardships, traumas, it's because we're one of the chosen ones. God has chosen us to do something special and important in this life, to impact others, to make a difference. And spiritual warfare is real. The devil doesn't want that. He wants us to stay sick in depression, in addiction, in self-loathing, in anxiety. And I refuse that. I say, devil, you're a liar. And I push that stuff away. I look at my past and I say, thank you. Like, God, thank you for how hard I fell in my last relapse. Thank you for all the shame. Thank you for all the suffering. Because if I didn't fall that low, I wouldn't have been hungry for change. And I truly do believe that we have to grow through what we go through. If life is cushy and comfortable, why are we ever going to change? And I truly believe that triumph comes from trauma. Like, you guys, I have had so many traumas happen to me in my life. And I started saying these things until I believed them. Like, there was no reason why I should be grateful for the bad things that happened to me. But this last time in rehab, I picked up a Bible and I started reading things, and they explain that with being a chosen one. You know, you are going to have a hard road. You're going to have a lot of haters. You're going to have a lot of trauma. I mean, look at Jesus. You know, if you read the story out of the Bible, like, he suffered for us. So maybe there's beauty in the suffering. When we suffer, maybe it's a gift. In yoga, we say the amount to which you experience pain is the amount to which you'll experience peace. And my friends, I can kind of testify for that. I have so much peace in my life today, but it came after decades of pain and suffering and hardships. So to get back to that question, what was it? How do I live with my past? I honor it. I know that it was part of my journey. It was part of my story. Every human being in life makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. And if they're pretending they are, they're probably the ones making the most mistakes. You know, it's all bullshit at the end of the day, because, like, nobody's perfect, right? We all mess up. We all go through seasons of life where there's hardships, where there's challenges. But that's so you can get to the other side. You can get to the triumphant part of your life. You know, diamonds go through all this process of stress and time until they're beautiful. You got to look at that. Maybe we're like a diamond, that we just have to go through that struggle and that time of growth to turn into a shiny, sparkly diamond. Don't be ashamed of your past. Don't. Everyone's made mistakes. If anything, let it inspire you. Let it light a fire in you that you can change. I've changed. Everyone can change. let your testimony of what you did in the past inspire others to change. Moses in the Bible was a murderer. And look what he did. Like, don't keep yourself stuck in a box. A lot of times that's the devil, that's depression. It's going to want to keep you stuck in this cycle of self-loathing, depression, anxiety. Oh, I can't believe I did this in my past. I can't believe I said that, went there, did that. Don't hold shame in it. They're growing pains. You've got to grow through what you go through. You've got to take that experience and turn it into something beautiful and know that that was part of your story. If I didn't fall as low as I fell this last relapse, if I wasn't homeless, if I wasn't broke, if I didn't cross all the not yets off my list of things I didn't do yet for one more, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you. Like, it took all that pain and suffering and doing things that I'm a little ashamed about to grow from it, because I could justify why I was a functioning addict before. Now that all the not yets are crossed off my list, like, I can't say I'm a functioning addict. I don't work. I'm broke. My health is declining. My body is emaciated. I wasn't functioning. It was time to look in the mirror. So I encourage you to try to look at the past as growth. Look at it as like the obstacle course that you're going through in life, because life is a mission. It's definitely an obstacle course. It's a roller coaster. There's going to be ups and downs. Enjoy the ups and be grateful for the downs, because without the downs, there's no up. Without cold, there's no hot. You've got to experience pain to get to peace. It's a great question. Thank you. Don't forget, guys, you can drop your questions in the comments. I feature a question every episode, and I look forward to hearing from you. Now, growing up, I didn't have a strong belief in God at all. And then when I endured the abuse I went through in childhood, and then losing my 8-year-old brother next to me in a car accident when I was the driver at 16, I lost hope in God. Like, how can there be a God if my best friends in high school all fight me and turn against me? Like, I literally have no one. How is there a God? So I developed this cycle of going through life thinking I can be reckless, I can do anything, the world sucks anyway, so I might as well throw a party in its honor. And I did. Oh, I did. And it progressively got worse and worse and worse. But I was losing God, and I was progressively growing further and further away from God. I was a strict atheist. I didn't believe there was a God if all these horrible things could happen to me and others. I needed hope. But also, let's remember, it's human condition to self-justify. So I believe I was justifying there was no God because then I could stay stuck in my addiction. Well, nobody's in my head. Nobody's around me, looking at me when no one's around. So this is an easier way to go through life, believing there is no God, because then I can do the shady things that I'm doing and not feel as guilty about it. But I quickly knew, like, in the back of my head, I knew there was a God. I knew there was something watching me all the time, but I would just shove that under the rug so I could just keep going about my active addiction, drug addict lifestyle, lying, hurting myself and others. Believing there was no God made it easier to live the life I was living. I know today that is so far from the truth. When I finally moved into my own apartment not too long ago, I started getting deep into prayer and meditation, like really deep, guys. Like sometimes it would last an hour, 2 hours. And around this time when I would come home, my ring light would turn on. It would go on at weird times of the day, like when I was getting ready to leave, when I would come home for the evening, it would just go on. And at first it was flashing different colors, green, red, white. Then it went to a rainbow and it started circling rainbows. And I was so confused. So I was like, I'm going to go to a medium and see what this is about. And the day it started circling rainbow colors, I went to the medium. And she said to me, your brother comes to you in rainbows. What? There was no way she would have known that my ring light that was once flashing like red, green, white was now circling a rainbow color. There was no way she would have known that. But she did. And I see rainbows a lot. I see double rainbows. I see them a lot. And so now I know that that's my brother saying, hey, Nat, I'm here. I'm looking out for you. So shortly after the ring light rainbow experiences and flashing colors happened, I was in a deep meditation prayer one night in my bed. And my eyes were closed and I was really deep in it, just like listening to the YouTube meditation I was listening to and just feeling it. And I reached out up to the sky, tears down my face, just asking God to forgive me, like all these horrible things I did in my addiction. God, I'm so sorry you saw this. And then it was like I felt the presence of my brother. And he and I were having a conversation and I just broke down in tears. I'm like, Scotty, I am so sorry that you had to see me do all these things. I'm so sorry you had to watch your big sister live such a shameful existence. And he basically said to me it was okay. He said it was okay. And then a couple nights later, I got deep into meditation again, laying in bed. And all of a sudden, I can see a light coming towards me. Now, my eyes are closed. I can see a piercing, like purplish white light coming towards me. And it's like I'm peering to see with my eyes closed, what is this? And an image starts floating, literally floating towards me. And I'm trying to make out what it is. I'm laying there like, what is that? And I kid you not, when I could finally get it in my focus, it was a cross. Like I literally could see a cross figure coming towards me with a physical figure on it, like of Jesus. We've all seen these in churches and in other photos that we see about spiritual works, Jesus on the cross. Then, as soon as the cross came to me and faded away, a face started slowly floating towards me. And it literally looks like if you look up any picture of Jesus with the long hair, like that spinning image, you know, but I knew it was God. Like I had this feeling in me, this is God. I just knew it. Like, you know, when you just know something, I just knew it was God. And I lost it. Like, since that moment, I haven't been able to listen to regular music, like at all. Whenever I'm in the car, I listen to Bible studies, or I'll type in God motivation on YouTube and listen to that because it's so true. We are products of our constant thought. Like, what are you listening to constantly? What are you conditioning your thoughts with? You're going to become that. What you think about, you bring about. And a lot of what I was noticing was like this music about shake your ass and watch yourself. Like it was feeding me with this unsatisfied feeling inside. Wanting to go to the club, wanting to dance, wanting to feel fun, careless, reckless. Why was this? Maybe it was because these mantras and some of these songs I was listening to wasn't about peace, love, and happiness. It's just a thought. Now that I listen to just Christian music and prayers and Bible studies on YouTube, like my life has changed immensely. Blessings continue to come my way. And I'm so encouraged to do this and spread this message because, my friends, I was a homeless junkie drug addict. I need to keep reminding you of that. If I can change, you can change. And I have such a passion for helping people change. I don't care if it's drugs you're addicted to, sex, love, gambling, shopping. Like you can be free of that. You can be free of that. And you can use all the shame that you felt in your life to get closer to God. Literally can. He is waiting for you. This 100% changed my life. Now when I go through life, I know that there's a spirit world at work. I know that there's more than meets the eye. I know that there's more than the physical and that karma's real. Everything I put out comes back because I've lived on both sides. I've done the bad addict lifestyle. I've lied. I've hurt. I've stolen. I've cheated. I've done bad things. And I got bad as a result. And today I ask God every day when I pray, like, please, God, make me more and more in your likeness. Make my heart more and more pure like yours every day. And Lord, grow me closer to you with love. I want to love you a little bit more and know you a little bit better every day. And what you do every day is watering a seed and it's going to grow. It's just like working out. It takes time. You don't hit the gym once and you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like that takes time, conditioning, dedication, routine. It's like anything. Spirit world's the same way. So make sure that you're really growing a belief in your head that is working for you, not against you, because spiritual warfare is real. It's real. And the devil will come to you in anxiety, depression, fear, but God will battle that with positivity, joy, love, and gratitude. But you can't be on both sides. You pick one or the other, and what you focus on grows. And it all starts with that first thought. That first thought, is it centered in love or is it centered in fear? Really look at this today. Look at where your first thought is coming from. Is it derived out of fear and anxiety? Or can you just trust God that even if something doesn't go your way, that it's working for your good? That in itself can be a spiritual awakening, the surrender to this process. Spiritual awakenings are all around us. They're all around us. My closing story for today. This last time in rehab, now I had been to rehab 3 times, a ton of detox centers, a ton of therapists, and everyone had tried to help me work through this issue with my brother. All this guilt surrounding the accident that I harbored, and that also was a big contributing factor to keeping me stuck in my addiction. I did this therapy called ART with my counselor, and it literally worked in one session. It's her holding her hand like this, and it's like REM almost, where you're moving your eyes to meet the hand movement as she's talking you through this entire process. And we reprogrammed the memory of my brother's death. I used to see blood. I was wearing this white sweater, and I remember blood just poured all over it. And even now I can talk about this unemotionally because of the ART. It's crazy. But instead of seeing that bloody, just awful memory of the accident, she did the ART to reprogram me to seeing me and my brother making it to Dunkin' Donuts, because that's where we were on our way to go, is Dunkin' Donuts. He wanted a donut. Oh, we never made it there. But she had me visualize us making it there and sharing a donut. And now whenever I talk about the accident, I see me and Scotty sharing a donut. Perspective is powerful. Perspective is so powerful. What you believe becomes your reality. It really does. Start using your thought process to work for you and have spiritual awakenings every day. You can be your own spiritual awakening today. Switch your perspective. I believe in you. I'm here for you. Keep getting messy out there. Life is a mess. Love it. Be you. I'll see you next time.